Hi everyone, and welcome to the video as part of this resource exploring some top questions that you may have regarding actually starting your dissertation, and especially if that dissertation is the literature review type. So this is to help you think through some of the key questions and look for responses on how to address those questions. So in this little video I'm just going to go over a few top tips that I've actually mentioned in other resources, but to bring them all together here on this one little video for you. So first of all is to get you to think about exactly what you want to write on, and some of you may actually be struggling at that stage. You may think you've got so many ideas in your head and so many different types of projects that you want to talk about that it may be difficult to narrow that list down and to get it into a meaningful project that you can then perform a literature review on. So the first thing is, let your mind wander. Think of as many different projects as you want. Because it might be that you find that there's a particular project that you really feel passionate about. Maybe that's a good reason to do it. Or another reason might be that there's maybe a new topic within your field of practice, and not many people have done work on this yet, so you want to get to explore it. So consider lots of different things. At this stage, just let your mind go with whatever you want. Come up with lots of ideas, and it may be best to write these down. Because once you start seeing them written down, then you can narrow down that process and clarify it much better. So first of all, let your mind wander. Then you might find that throughout the whole process, there are a few stages you keep going back and forth through. Some of them may be panic. At moments you get real great understanding of what you're doing. And hopefully then through all of this, you will be able to carry on and get your work done. So don't worry even if you're panicking, because there's lots of help and support for you. Have a look through the rest of the learning resource that this video is embedded in, but obviously towards the end of this little video I'm going to be encouraging you to talk to the librarians, talk to your other colleagues, talk to your module leaders and your supervisors. There's lots of help. You're not alone on this. So even if you are finding that there are too many topics, you can't narrow them down, start exploring this with somebody else, okay? Don't struggle with this alone. That's really important. Another one could be then, so why do you want to do the particular project? Which comes first? Is it the chicken or the egg? Is it that a topic is important and therefore you feel as if you have to do it? Or is it starting from within you? Maybe you think you have a particular passion around a certain aspect in your field of practice, whatever that field of practice is, and you're really passionate about something, but you're just not sure how to put that into words at the moment. So that could be your starting point. It could be that there's a particular need. Maybe your service is saying to you, well, look, you're doing this particular master's degree, we're paying for it, and one thing that we really want from this study is that you explore X, Y, and Z. So there can be lots of reasons why you need or why you're going to end up doing a particular project. And then you have to think about, and what type of question is it that I might be asking? Because with research studies, more often than not, there's going to be a particular question or set of questions that you want to find answers to. And a literature review is a really good way to use other people's work to try to answer your question. So how do you even formulate that particular question? And remember, with a master's degree, you don't want too many questions. It might be that you've got one overarching central question, and then maybe you even find some smaller subsidiary questions that by answering each little one of those, it's like answering elements of the big overall question. So maybe that's how you're going to frame it. So whether it comes chicken or egg first, which comes first, what you might do then is when you're mind mapping the different ideas that you've got, think about ways in which you can actually formulate this as a topic or a theme. So write it down as a particular theme or topic, but then turn that into an open question. Remember, you don't want a closed question. You don't want to ask, is this an efficient way to do something? Because if you ask a closed question, the answer will either be yes no, or maybe. And yet you've now got to write 10,000 words on that. So you don't want to limit yourself to yes, no, or maybe. So you might ask questions like, in which ways might such and such an approach to therapy or to teaching or to practice improve? Yeah, or you might want to explore things. So use verbs that will allow you to unpick your topic, not just is this right or is this wrong, yes or no answers. Okay, you're not looking for that. Another thing that you might want to do then, especially if you've got a few different ideas, is write them on different pieces of paper. And you might even draw a line down the middle and in one column write reasons to do this project, and in the next column, reasons not to do it. So if you've got maybe 2 or 3 different themes, different types of projects you could do, have them on separate pieces of paper, then write in the columns the good reasons to do it and the reasons against do it, and then review what you've written for all of these. And again, go with the one, especially the one that you think will be most profitable for you to do to achieve this project. If it's something that you think, oh no, this particular topic is going to be far too big and I just haven't got the capacity for it as part of a master's degree, and yet this project could be really good, it's self-contained for a master's dissertation, and it could even give me ideas to carry on further if I want to do more research after this and even for a doctorate. Okay, so there are lots of different reasons. So start writing them down, and as I say, maybe put a line down the page and come up with a few different columns. Then once you've decided on which one you're going to stick with, that's when you can start doing your detailed exploration. So again, on another sheet of paper, and what I really encourage is if you've got a really big sheet of paper, like a flip chart, write your theme in the middle of the page. And then once you've done that, start drawing lines coming out of it with whatever comes to mind about the key aspects of your topic. So put your topic in the middle of the page, and then what comes to mind when you think about that topic. So start writing down all the key issues that you can think of. And then once you think you've got quite a few of these written down, look at them individually and start drawing little lines coming out of each one for everything you can think of in relation to that. So you may come out with, say for example, if you're thinking about a topic related to, say patient care. So in which ways might advanced clinical practitioners be able to facilitate pain management? I'm making all of this up, okay? Right, so which ways? So you've got this in the middle of the page, and then one line coming out is going to be pain management. Another line coming out could be advanced clinical practitioners. So you've got all these different things coming out, and then explore each one. So write down as much as you can, so your sheet of paper gets as full as possible. And then the next thing to do, when you feel as if you've exhausted all of that, then take this helicopter view, the bigger picture, and that's what I say, if you've got it all written on a huge sheet of paper, you can actually put that onto the floor and stand over it, look over it as if you're a helicopter flying over this. Because as you look at all the different things you've written across your paper, because to talk about all of it in your dissertation would be too much. But you could use that diagram, especially if you write it up, if you go onto Google and just type in Google Mind Map tools, and you'll find lots of different programs in which you can transfer what you've just written on your sheet of paper onto a nice type of program. And then you might even put that as an appendix in your dissertation. And then in your introductory chapter, you might say, well, look, when I started to explore this topic, I could see that there were lots of different ways I could have gone on it, and even the depth of each of those individual ways. See Appendix 1. And then you could put your diagram in as an appendix. But then you tell us what you're going to be able to do is to narrow it down. You're going to funnel it down. So when you're taking this big overview of your mind map, you might start seeing then some links. So you might think, oh, something I've written in that one corner links into something I've written in the bottom corner over there, or something else actually runs like a thread through a lot of them. So it might even be something that you haven't even written on the paper. But as you've got the overview of it, maybe you're getting a gut feeling about something. You might think, oh, I never thought of this before. But look at what's running through all of it. So that's how you might be having your eureka moment, your sort of insight into what you've put down in front of you. And the very fact of writing it down and taking an overview of it is giving you good insight into something that you might not have necessarily noticed if you were just there thinking about it. Okay, so do the big overview, get out as much as you can. Then have a look at it and see what you can focus it down to. And that's how you come up with your particular topic. Once you've done that, you might even notice that sometimes the topic you're really interested in doesn't seem to have much written on it. So if you go onto Google or Google Scholar, put in the title of what you're looking for and see what comes up. And you might say, well, actually, not enough is coming up. There again, it's all according what type of literature review you're doing. So I keep recommending to you all to look at Grant and Booth of 2009 on their 14 different types of literature reviews. So different reviews require different types of evidence. So what is it that you're actually looking for, and which type of review might be the best one for you to use for your specific topic? But if there's not enough, if you're not finding enough, it's always important, whether you find enough or not, always important to talk to the librarians. Remember, you can sign on to the library section of the portal, and you can book either face-to-face in-person meetings or online meetings with them. Okay, that would be really good, especially when it comes to working out which keywords you should use, your inclusion and exclusion criteria, and how to search the various databases. So that could be really important, because you might come up with particular words and think, well, these are the keywords I want. Yet when you discuss it to the librarians who are expert in doing this type of work, they might say, well, actually, you've come out with those words because they're important to you, but let's just look at a few articles on your topic area and see which keywords those articles are using, because it might be more relevant to use keywords that are already out there being used by others. Okay, so even if you can't find too much on your topic, don't panic at that moment. Ask the librarians for advice and for help. Okay. If it's a topic that really not enough isn't written about, then you might have to consider how you can write it in such a way to explore, well, why isn't enough written on this at the moment? So it might come out as a very different dissertation, not so much on the topic itself, but on the gaps around the topic. Why do those gaps exist? How are they maintained? Why has nobody started asking all of this at the moment? And remember, even when you consider that hierarchy of evidence, especially that positivist and post-positivist researchers use that hierarchy of evidence, where they like to see things like randomized control trials at the top, and at the bottom of that pyramid, it may talk about clinical experience and anecdote. So maybe there aren't enough social scientific reviews done on a topic. Maybe that's one of the issues. Not enough research has been done, say when you're looking at randomized control trials, and if it's drugs or treatment options, maybe it hasn't reached that point of the pyramid yet. And yet there could be a lot on clinical evidence. So it might be that you have to say, well, what type of review would allow me to explore anecdote and clinical evidence, as opposed to a different type of review that might only expect you to use primary research or specific types of studies. Again, that's a topic you can have with the librarians. And please never be alone with all of this. So talk about it, share your ideas, share your frustrations, your worries, your panics, your concerns. Talk about it with your fellow students and with us, your teachers on your modules, and with your dissertation supervisors. Don't struggle, because the more you do and the more panic you get about it, the less productive you're going to be, and it may be just a waste of time, because if you spoke to somebody nice and early, maybe they could actually help you with it. Okay, thanks for listening to this video. I hope you work through the rest of this resource, where you'll notice there are a number of questions that maybe many of you are already considering, and then there are posts to answers to those questions. Okay, take care, and I hope this is useful for you.